offensive line coach, Geep Wade. We'll open it right up for questions for Coach Wade. Kelly.
I was curious, just kind of, you've been looking for different combinations, but I know center is a position where you've wanted to create some depth. Just kind of what are you seeing with the different guys you've worked there this camp?
Yeah, Weston's kind of been the main show for the past year. Played as a young kid and has really progressed. And, he's a kid that's really worked himself into what he's become through our weight program, through our off-season program. And, behind him, the last spring, Brandon Best we gave him a shot there. And, we told him some things he had to do over the summer to continue to progress where we think he needed to be at this level to win, and he did it. And then Gabe Fortune's come in, and being a freshman, I'm really proud of where he's at. But he missed practice today. He was sick, had some illness, but he has really progressed. And then we're working Joe Fusile there a little bit. So we've got a bunch of different combinations, and as a coaching staff, we got to get it honed in the next 4 or 5 days before next week starts.
Right.
Do you have a number that you're looking for and that you want to have prepared to play in that first game?
You're always looking for between 8 to 10 guys. I think if you at this level, I think if you have 8 guys, and you're doing good. So we feel like we possibly have 8 guys. The center position is a position where we're really working hard at. Because there's a bunch of different combinations that we've been working, and we just got to find some continuity with those combinations. You know what I mean? So, that's something that is really going to have to be worked on throughout the end of this week, going into next week.
Chad.
I know offensive lines are always going out to eat together and bowling. Are these guys doing that? Have you seen them spend a lot of time off the field together?
Yeah, I think it's something where it was hard. When you first get here, you've only been here 6 months. You get to know these guys, and that's the main thing I want to do is get to know these guys and show them that I care about them. And we've been out, and Coach allows us to do things with them and stuff like that. So they're a tight knit group. And I think that's big in winning. When we recruit, we want to recruit guys that have that mentality of hanging out together, just enjoying college. I think that matters. I tell our kids all the time, if you're happy where you're at, you'll play better. So that's something that's big. And I want these kids to also understand that in my room, I want positive energy. I really do. I'm a positive guy. Not saying all the time, but being in this profession, if you're not, it'll beat you down. And the same thing as an old lineman. Going through a 12, hopefully 13-game season, there's going to be, like Coach said today, ebbs and flows of a practice. We've got to be on the other end of that more than the flows. So that's something I try to preach to my guys. Put it behind you. Move on, and you got your teammates around you. There's been times in camp where you've sat there and said, "Hey guys, hey, I can't fix it. You guys got to fix it." So we're trying to put more pressure on these guys.
Go.
I was just curious about Connor, who's a guy you guys added over the summer, and he's a big fella. Just kind of, how do you see him fit in, and what does he bring?
Oh, fit in, there's no question. He's a mature human being. He's a grown man. So, he's a kid that didn't go through spring practice at Princeton. So, he's trying to get back in shape right there. He's banged up. He's going through Coach Key's practices right now. So he's got a bum knee, a bum shoulder, a bum wrist, and he's fighting through it. And, we feel really good about where he's at to give us some added bonus.
When you talk about those 8 guys, I imagine you want the backup center, it's not like a Joe Fusile, to be one of those 8?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. And we'll get to that point. We'll get to that point, and that's something that right now is very important. We kind of know as a coach staff what direction we're going to head in, but we're still trying to let guys continue to develop while we're still in camp. Bottom line, so all these camp, I tell these guys, all these camp reps are invaluable. We get to hit the sled, we get on the chutes. We get to set a mentality because, during the season, you don't get that time. You're preparing your scout team, and, so these next couple of days are very important to our football program, especially to our group.
Kelly.
I was just curious about the tackles and kind of, we've heard a lot about Corey and his progress he's made, but just kind of what are you seeing there? Is it kind of Corey and Jakaya right now, the sort of the leaders in the clubhouse?
Two kids that, you come here in spring as new coaches, and it's amazing what our kids have done from the first spring practice to now with their bodies, with Coach AJ, their hips, they can run better. I mean, so those are two kids that probably have worked harder than, not harder than anybody on the team, but as hard as anybody on the football team. So they put themselves in position to become better players. And, we kind of challenged them, and they took the challenge, and they're both tough kids, Jakai and C-Rob are very, very tough kids.
Right.
You have a 5-man freshman class on the offensive line, and you went through the evaluation process and got a good idea of what you thought. Now that you've seen them play, are you satisfied with your evaluation?
Very satisfied, very satisfied. Ethan McKinney, and he's running with the twos every rep. I mean, he just got here. He wasn't here in the spring. Ben Galloway, very twitchy, very athletic for his size. So, and then you've got Gabe. He's been running with the twos. He went out there in 110-degree weather the other day and ran 50, 60 plays with the twos. And, he had some freshman mistakes, on some critical situations, but that's to be expected. And, I hope he learns from it, right now to become a great player, in the future. And then you've got Pat Screws, who, he's been limited a little bit, and then Elias Chloe has gotten tremendously better from the spring, and we're playing him at tackle right now. I'd like to get some reps with him, move him around when we have that chance to do so.
Anything else for Coach? Kelly?
Just when you kind of look at the different combinations, do you feel like these are my guards, these are my tackles, or is it going to be a lot of, like Jordan has played inside, outside? Like, are you more in favor of doing that, or are you more like I gotta play just guard if I can?
No, listen, with our zone scheme and stuff like that, guy can play anything. It's the same thing, and I've made some points of that throughout this camp. Our job is to find the 5 best guys for us to go win a football game, and that sounds cliche, but it's not. I mean, we got to go find the 5 best guys that go give Georgia Tech the best chance to win a football game, and I think we'll do that here in the next couple days.
Anything else? Questions for Weston? Kelly?
I guess just like how's camp gone, and just how do you feel like your progression's gone from the spring to now with learning the zone blocking and all the stuff that Coach Wade wants?
It's definitely been it's a different coaching style for sure with Coach Wade in there, being different from Key, being under Key for 2 years. And then kind of flipping to Wade, a lot of different terms and stuff like that. Just as far as progression goes, I mean, it's kind of been a smooth transition for me. It's mainly just making he has different terms for some of the same stuff. So I mean, it's kind of a smooth transition. It's not very difficult. It's just using different words and stuff like that.
Right.
Coach Key, the other day, talked about he liked the fact that you seem like you're one cohesive unit now. Is that what you're seeing? Does it make it easier for you to play out there, knowing you play with the guys alongside you for a while now?
It definitely does for sure. Having those guys that you've been in games with, in certain situations with, it definitely makes it easier. We all see the same stuff through the same set of eyes, and it just makes it that much easier on me knowing those guys see everything that I see, and we can all play as one unit.
Now, Chad.
Has this camp been hard?
Do I know?
Has it been hard?
It's definitely been difficult. We've been practicing in the afternoons. Definitely hot out there. You're trying to recuperate your body after every practice. Lose a lot of water weight, so you're trying to hydrate, eat the right food, get the proper amount of rest, and still try and make a progress forward to getting all the meetings in and everything like that. So it's definitely been difficult, but we're managing with it, and we're still pushing strong. So we're happy with it.
Kelly?
Coach Wade talked a little bit about Gabe and kind of his progress. What have you seen from him as a true freshman? You were in similar shoes trying to earn that spot a couple of years ago now. Just kind of what have you seen from him?
He's doing really well. He's picking up on the offense pretty well. He's a fast guy. He's going to have a great career. He's got a few things he's still working on, and I'm trying to help him, even in meetings on the field, little stuff here that I know that could help him down the road. I'm telling him everything that I know just to try and help him and get his confidence up, because you got to have confidence in that position, because those other 4 guys are looking at you to make a call every single play. And it's kind of difficult knowing that as a true freshman. I mean, you're a young kid coming in. Those guys are looking at you, but you got to be the guy to step up and do it.
Chad?
Off the field, I would imagine you guys hang out a lot. Any traditions you've already developed, nicknames, anything like that?
We really haven't came up with too many nicknames. I know last year a good many of us guys on Thursday nights after we'd have our player meetings or whatever, we'd go out to eat and just kind of hang out and kind of get away from football for just a little bit, and then come back in Friday morning and be ready to roll. Just kind of relax and get to know the guys better coming off the field. So that's kind of one tradition that we're planning on carrying over this year. So looking forward to that.
Rob?
Coach talked about, looking to find a group of 8 guys that you can throw out there on the field. Has there been any guys that have, aside from your starting 5, that have caught your eye, and especially when it comes to maybe someone that could be your backup?
Gabe could definitely step in that position. Joe as well. He's taking snaps. Connor, he's doing a really good job coming from Princeton. He's played 4 years there, so he has a lot of knowledge about the game. Ethan McKinney's doing a great job. He's still young. He's still learning stuff here and there, but I mean, he's a very physical player. We're excited about him. I'm trying to think who else. Let's see. Tyler Gibson's doing a good job. He's just got to work on a few things here and there, but he's making the right steps. I mean, everybody in the rooms, they're really doing a great job. I mean, the offense is fitting us very well, and we're doing a great job transitioning to it. So I feel like we have a solid group of guys.
Kelly?
Obviously, you have different quarterbacks. You guys rotate everyone. Just how is that in terms of just the chemistry piece of it? Is that something you worked on a lot of this summer with Haynes and the 2 Zachs?
Yes, for sure. I mean, each one has their own playing style, but they also have their similarities in the game. You just got to know which one you're kind of working with, and spend a lot of time this offseason with them, getting to know them better off the field and everything like that. So I mean, it's not too big of a deal on me. It's just mainly just knowing which one you're playing with that series, and they can execute the play. So that's what we're looking for.
Rod?
The defensive line has a lot of experience out there at all positions across the line. Do you notice that they're playing better than they have in the past?
For sure. I mean, those guys have all played together for a few years now. Zeke, Dowse, Machias, Sylvain. I mean, those guys. I mean, they just keep on going and and they feed off of each other. I mean, they're constantly talking every single play. So I mean, you kind of block that noise out and focus on what you have to get done. But I mean, you can tell those guys are really gelled together, and they play very well together.
Anything else?
We've heard a lot about kind of your off season and how much you work to kind of improve your body. Can you kind of tell us sort of the backstory and kind of what you did to get stronger and bigger?
Yes, sir. So coming out of spring ball, I ended spring ball at like around 280, going home before we start summer training. I was able to come back about 300, 302. A lot of off-season training back with AJ, and just trying to stay with the nutrition. Really just focusing on that off-season grind, trying to get ready for camp and get ready for this season.
Rod?
Do you feel that the offensive line this year has more confidence than they may have had when you guys started out last year?
Yes, sir. I would definitely say we have much more confidence. We've all played snaps in some big games. I feel like our chemistry is a lot better now. We were real young last year, getting a lot of experience, and now I feel like we play with a different edge to us now that we have more chemistry and more experience underneath our belt. So I'm really excited for the season.
Going back to that off-season training, I mean, can you get technical with it? What type of workouts? How many workouts a day? How exhausted were you doing all that?
So when I went home in May, I was doing a lot of stuff on my own, little stuff here and there with trainers, but focusing heavily on my nutrition. My mom, she was feeding me like crazy, and then when I came back, AJ, he set out a good plan, and we get after it here. We work hard, but with our nutritionist Erin, she also made sure I was getting all the calories I needed to continue to make the weight a little bit better, and knowing that I put it on. So it was a full team effort.
You guys, started to come around towards the end of the season. I think it was a little bit of struggle at times, but really, even especially in the last 2 games, I thought the line started to gel a little bit more. Is that maybe where you started to build the confidence as a kind of group? Because it's really those core guys all back now.
Yeah, I would definitely say that towards the end of the season, we really came together. We went through a lot as a group. We went through a lot as a team, and I feel like that was kind of on our minds a lot. Going into games, we got to the end of the season, and we kind of just, we wanted to go play for each other, and play together, to help do whatever we could for the team. And I think it helped us a lot.
Right.
You guys work on combination blocks. How do you feel about working with Joe, and how has that worked out for the two of you?
Yeah, I love Joe. Our chemistry now, I think, is unmatched. I love playing next to him. When I'm, low, he gets me back up high. When I'm high, he brings me, back down level. I try to do the same for him. But yeah, I'm happy to have him as my left guard.
Anything else?
I was just curious, kind of your thoughts. You were a guy that came in who hadn't played last year and then kind of jumped and won a job and was playing a lot. And you have a true freshman, Ethan, that a lot of people are talking about and have been impressed with his development. Kind of what are you seeing from him in terms of development as a tackle?
Ethan is a dog. He works hard. He comes in and takes on any challenge that we give him. He's very athletic. He's going to develop into a really good player very, very soon.
Anything else for Corey? That's awesome this time. You can't complain.
Yeah, really.
Well, it wasn't hot today.
No, the weather was perfect.
Yesterday you complained?
No, gosh. Thought about it.
Right there.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started with Joe Fusile. Over for questions for Joe. Rod?
Have you let Weston know that you're coming for his job?
I have. Yeah. No, Weston's a great center. I'm just happy to be learning from him as I start to take snaps.
Chad?
Give us some insight into Coach Wade. What's he like on and off the field? What's his style? Getting used to him getting used to you?
High energy, very high energy. He's a attack the line kind of guy, and it's been a lot of fun. Him and Coach Key actually complement each other really well, and it's been a lot of fun playing for him.
It seems like you've kind of transformed yourself over the last year physically. Like, can you talk a little bit about your transformation you've made as well?
Oh, we've been getting after it in the weight room with Coach AJ. Other than that, I think I just stopped drinking milk. I think I went from 1.5 gallons a day to just cutting it out. Might have lost 6% body fat or so doing that, but yeah, we've just been getting after it in the weight room and really working to be ready for the season.
More for Joe? Kelly?
How much has it helped that you and Corey are back and Weston, that whole left side of the line from what you're used to? There's chemistry there. You guys played a lot of snaps in the back half of the season. How much does that help?
It helps a lot. Having chemistry as an offensive line is hugely important, and it's been apparent this fall camp as we played together. Corey's a great tackle, and I really appreciate playing next to him. And obviously, playing next to Weston is super helpful. So it's very helpful having that chemistry.
Rod?
We talked to the other two guys about the freshman class and how they're progressing. What is your perspective on those guys?
I'm really pleased with them. I think they're doing very well. Gabe's been really good in picking up our offense and coming in at center for us. And Gabe Fortson is as strong a freshman as I've seen, and I think he's going to be a really good player. Ethan McKinney's extremely physical, and Pat Screws is a monster as well. I'm really happy with all of them.
When you guys kind of look back and look ahead now, you have maybe people doubting kind of the offensive line performance over the last year, and how much does that kind of motivate you guys to come out strong and set the tone early in the season with the way you guys play as a group?
It's extremely motivating. People will tell you, not to listen to people, but hearing that, it just makes you want to really prove them wrong. And it's been a big part of us in our preparation for getting ready for the season. And I think we're going to be very prepared coming into Louisville.
Anything else for Joe? Coach?
How have you enjoyed head coach Brent Key? Like, it seems like things are very intense. Like, the vibe's like a lot different. It's very workmanlike now. Do you like the kind of blue collar approach?
Oh yeah, an offensive line head coach is a great thing, and it's been wonderful this fall camp and getting to camp as well. Yes, I do enjoy it very much.
All right, Joe, thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all.
Weston, Corey, thank you guys.